Hi, I'm Lucas Cuni-Mertz, Associate Editor of Baking and Snack Magazine, and this is a baking and snack tech expert. In our November issue, we spoke with Nick Szczechowski, North Central Regional Sales Manager for BluePrint Automation, on the industry's shift towards automating variety packaging. Today, he'll share more on how producers are better able to automate this process. Thanks for joining me today, Nick.
Thanks for having me, Lucas.
So let's start with some background. Why are more baking and snack manufacturers looking to automate their variety packaging?
This goes a lot to labor and operational costs right now. Manual packing of variety packs is very labor intensive. So the availability of sufficient labor to manually pack variety packs is significant and persistent challenge. So relying on a large workforce for repetitive tasks combined with rising wages drives up operational costs. Automating these processes offers a way to significantly reduce labor expenses over time. What we're seeing is the trend of more flavors and product combinations force companies to manage a growing number of unique SKUs. So with that being said, automated lines can handle patterns and switch between different product formats with minimal downtime. So manual packaging operations are often bottlenecks that limit the company's ability to keep up with maybe high-speed case erecting or carton erecting or upstream processes that the labor just can't keep up with. So when you have automated solutions, it allows producers to increase their throughput, respond faster to market demand. Also, return on investment on a robotic system usually has under a 2-year payback, which is a common benchmark in the US for a payback period.
And so, what advances in technology are allowing producers to better automate this process?
Man, technology is rapidly increasing. So you have a lot of components when looking at a type of system that can process variety packs and the components that go in those systems. So you have 3D vision, you have 3D printing, AI, or machine learning software, robotics are all progressing at a very rapid pace. And as we partner with customers that purchase our variety pack lines, it offers an opportunity for our engineering team to innovate and develop new end-of-arm tooling designs and working with our vendors to innovate. So by having a 3D printer in-house, we can offer different designs and change on the fly to maybe a new effective or more effective end-of-arm tool. And we can produce this part within a day to go right to a real-life simulation to test out and prove out that process. So with the advent of all this new technology at our fingertips, our response to our customer to be able to react and prove out a concept is extremely fast.
And so, what do producers need to account for when automating their variety packaging?
Yeah, so that's a very good question because there's a lot of things you need to take into account for when automating your line. Volume. You're going to need sufficient volume to justify an automation solution for a variety pack. If you have seasonal work that is inconsistent, that only comes up X amount of times a year, something that needs to be taken into consideration. This is going to be a significant investment for your company. So we want to make sure this is the right solution and long-time solution also to justify the ROI on this project. Second item is going to be product variety. So how many flavors or products will be included in the variety pack? So if you have a 4-flavor variety pack, an 8-flavor, a 16-flavor, that's going to significantly impact maybe the number of bulk feeders we have feeding the variety pack solution. Because the more flavors you have, the more lines we're going to have feeding that solution. So your solution and footprint could potentially grow. So product variety is going to be very important to know when identifying and starting this project scope. Pack pattern. So your pack pattern of product is going to be also critical because when we're looking at a solution of how to place that product into a case or a carton, it's going to have an immediate impact on cycle times. If we can pick and just drop product randomly or in a bulk fashion into a case, having that cycle time flexibility is going to be a lot different than maybe if we have a 4 across, 6 high organized format where we have to be very gentle with the product and we have to lower maybe a robot arm to the bottom of the case or carton. That's going to have different impact on cycle times of our robots versus just dropping the product in from maybe a 4-inch height. Warehouse space. So we're going to need to look at how much space you have in your manufacturing facility or your warehouse, because a lot of space is going to be needed for maybe a 16 flavor line. So we're going to have to look at process flow and also how much space you have and evaluate your process flow of your WIP or work in process. Expertise. So this is going to be a big one. You're going to want to work with a company that has competency in variety packs. So when you approach that company, just suggest you talk through with them. How many installations do you have? Where are the installations? Do you have reference videos? Can I get on with your application engineers and just talk through the competency that that company has? Lastly, you need to look at your auxiliary equipment. A lot of times companies, because of maybe budget constraints or how many machines that they currently have in their facility, they want to take advantage and reuse maybe case erectors, case sealers, carton formers, carton sealers. But when we're looking at developing the correct system, maybe that equipment that you have at your facility can't keep up with the new rates. So you always have to make sure that your current equipment, if you're looking to reuse it, can keep up with the rates, or when you're looking for new auxiliary equipment, it's going to be able to achieve what you're looking for the line to achieve. So also with that could be palletizing. If you're manually palletizing, you might also need to look at automating that palletizing, which is going to have an impact on footprint and also budget. So definitely a lot of things to consider. But working with BluePrint, we've had a lot of success in variety pack systems, and I really appreciate the time today.
Great. Well, thank you, Nick, for joining me today on this Baking and Snack Tech Expert.